Today from r/LetsNotMeet. To the guy who followed me home. When I was 23, I rented an apartment in an old boarding house in a neighborhood just outside a sketchy downtown of a Midwest southern US city. One night, around 2 a.m., I was driving home from my boyfriend's place after we'd had a huge fight. I was teary and not paying much attention to my surroundings. At a stoplight, I pulled up alongside the other car on the road, made brief eye contact with the driver, and gave him a quick, absent smile. I'm Southern, it's ingrained. Anyway, I guess he took it as some sort of invitation. At the next stoplight, he stared intently into my car with a weird, blank expression. And at the next, and the next, I was seriously uneasy, but it took me a while to realize he was actually following me. I should have driven to a police station, but this was before smartphones, and I didn't know where the closest one was. Also, I was exhausted, and guess I thought I was just being paranoid and didn't want to make a fuss. Instead, I circled around out of my way until I no longer saw his headlights behind me. It seemed like he just got bored and veered off. I was beyond relieved and drove straight home, anxious to get inside and behind locked doors. I parallel parked in a tight spot between two cars on the street outside the boarding house and cut the engine, and that's when he pulled up alongside me, close enough to the driver's side door that I couldn't have opened it if I tried. I was blocked in, and now he knew where I lived. I briefly thought about climbing across and exiting by the passenger door, but I wasn't confident that I could outrun him to the house and get it unlocked before he grabbed me, if that was his intention. It was very much the vibe he was throwing off. I fumbled my phone, and while I was fishing it out from under my seat, he got out of his car, lazily walked around to the passenger side of mine, and tried the door. Finding it locked, he leaned down and stared at me with the same intent, dead-eyed expression, and started tapping at the glass. I got my phone open and yelled I was calling the police as I dialed 911. He began banging on the window, then slamming his fist on the windshield like he was trying to break it. Then he stopped cold and just stared for a long minute more while I talked to the dispatcher, looking utterly disappointed in me. I don't clearly remember the end of the interaction. It was a long time ago, and I was terrified and trying to give information over the phone. But I remember having the impression that he was making a mental note of the house, and that he seemed entirely confident as he ambled back to his car and unhurriedly drove away. The cops came and took my statement, and didn't seem to like what I had told them one bit. If they found him though, no one ever let me know. I lived there for a few more months and didn't get a single solid night's sleep. So to the guy trying to break into my car, let's not meet.